Welcome back, everyone, to this edition of Try Hard Trucking with me, KCV, where I continue to do the best I can with what I've got, which is not a lot of talent, but a whole lot of waste of time. I thought I could do this contest with this truck. If you watched the last episode, YouTube episode, or if you're watching on Twitch and you watched earlier in the stream or the previous highlights, the VODs stay up on Twitch. The full VODs stay up on Twitch for 2 months. The highlights, I chop it up into highlights. The highlights are exported to YouTube, but they stay up on Twitch as well for, I think, about 6 weeks. I have the room for. They used to stay up there forever, but then Twitch said, wow, too many people are taking up space on our servers, and we could save money by stopping them from doing that. Twitch was never meant to have people watching highlights. They don't monetize the highlights, so. But I can save about 6 months or 6 weeks. So I got about 6 weeks of highlights and about 2 months of 2 months of VODs. Oh, and I can't see the back of that truck really. Alright, now so I am continuing on with what I was doing, which is getting the Jeep Wrangler to a point that it should never have been. Forecast, whatever. I'm gonna get it close, but not too close. And getting it there on its own is not a good thing to do. Alright, let me actually refuel when I'm here. I think I refueled already. No, not from the Jeep Wrangler. Stuff you'll carry it. Thank you. It's only going to be like 4 gallons total. Alright, let's go. And I happen to know already that the crane just goes right through there. Alright, I made a detour that turned out to not be necessary. So now I'm ready to continue. Looking on the map, I should say that. Forecast for tomorrow, there's 3 places that are really hard to get to. They're like on top of these mountains. I tried to get up this mountain with the Wrangler itself. It failed miserably. I recovered it and still tried to get up there. Failed. I decided to go a long way around, towing it, and I was able to do that. This one, I'm going to try to do the same thing, go kind of a long way around, because I don't think you can really get up anywhere other than this way. And then I don't think you can really go through these rocks either, but I think I can get the Wrangler through these trees and rocks. Not the Zix, but the Wrangler. But the Zix wouldn't be able to get through a lot of other, or the Wrangler couldn't get through the rocks. The Zix can't get through the rocks. The Wrangler can't get through the trail to get there, so I'm taking them both together. And then I will have, once this succeeds, which may or may not be within the next hour, then I'll have only one more place to go to. And this is an incredibly slow. I don't remember how many episodes I was in just the first map. It was a lot. And I don't know, therefore, how many episodes I've been on this map. But I think, if anything, this map is slower than the other map. And I'm pretty sure I'm not going to meet my 100 episode goal for getting through this region. I've averaged about 100 episodes per region up to here. This is easy mode playthrough, which isn't really easy mode, because there's no such thing as easy mode, but it's It's just a normal mode playthrough, not a hard mode playthrough, no add-ons or mods or anything. No New Game Plus, no mods. But it is played with paid DLC vehicles external to the map. So, for example, I'm using the Zix Mastodon, 612H Mastodon for the Mastodon pack. I'm using the Jeep Wrangler from the Jeep DLC pack, etc. So all the vehicles I'm using are from paid DLC. I'm not trying to advertise the paid DLC. I'll go as far as I can. But I got a real cheap price on the whole thing, so I'm using the paid DLC vehicles. I have not owned the game that long, not even a year yet. And the 100% part of the playthrough means I'm going to try to map every pixel that is possible on the maps. Sometimes that's easy, sometimes that's difficult. I have the prototype exploration unit to do that. And also I'm going to use all the temporary cargo, clear whatever warehouses of temporary cargo, hopefully use it to do tasks, but if not, then just remove it. And also the trailers. All the items that can be removed from the map, I will take back and sell. I won't, I'll try my best to sell every trailer I can. One time I did have to delete a trailer because, I had to delete a trailer because, oh, this is where I was going to let the Wrangler go on his own. But let's see what I can do. If I have to, I can use the big crane to lift the Wrangler up over top of me. The only big problem would be if I tip this thing. I'll almost certainly take the Wrangler with me. See, the Wrangler would struggle on these little trees. And it would struggle on the rocks, though it would probably be able to fit through the rocks. And there's plenty of winchable points. If I do get completely stuck, I will use the crane to lift the Wrangler in front of me. Last little bit. This thing can go over a lot of rocks. Is that it? Was this easy mode after all? It was! I didn't even need the cheat. Yay! Look at that. Alright. Stop the engine. Way to go, partner. It makes me wonder if there was an easier way to get to the first one. Well, I'm having to cut through the trees and stuff. Alright, and the last one is here. And the easiest way to get to there is, guess what? From the garage. And I think I'm going to use a Zix and not even try to take this road. Just use a Zix, go across the water, through the slush and mud, and up through there. It's crazy. It's a crazy plan. But I'm thinking it might work. But I'm not going to use the Zix that I currently have. I'm going to break out the other Zix. There's the garage. I can leave these there for now. Now, everything's turned off, right? Okay. I will eventually probably recover them, but I can recover them anytime. Who knows? Maybe something will be close by. But let's go to the garage. Let's pull out the other Zix Mastodon. The other vehicle I have is this Rezvani Hercules from the Rezvani pack, and I also have in storage a couple trucks I haven't evaluated yet. These just came out as DLC. If I want to use them, I will use them. But I also have the GMC Brigadier. That's my main fleet. That is what is on the thumbnail. And now these babies are really good across the crackly ice. And I'm hoping that I can get them across the crackly ice in the river in a place you would not expect most vehicles to be able to plow through. I may get stuck. If I get stuck, I'll just recover and try it a shorter way, a different way, a longer way. But if I go in the water, I won't be that far away. I can recover. I know just driving through the snow next to the garage can be a challenge, but guess what? I'm in the Zix Mastodon. I don't care. I can plow through this snow like it doesn't even exist. Actually, it's not that deep. All right. I thought I saw a stump, and I said to myself, I'm not going through a stump, am I? Wham! Hit the stump. Head on. I'm into the 5th hour of a 6-hour stream. 6.5-hour stream, actually. So, I'm a little giddy right now. A little tired. I need a nap. How am I going to get in these trees? I don't think I am. I think instead I am going to get through this gap. Why do I think I'm going to fit through that gap? Because I'm tired and not thinking straight. I don't think I can get through that gap. No, that is completely closed off. But I might be able to squeeze between the gap and the trees, or on that side of those rocks. And I'm pretty sure I can't get on that side. So let's try it on that side. Or I may not be able to take this shortcut at all, which is a very likely possibility. Yeah, see that tree, there is not enough room to go on the left side of that tree that's right in front of me. There might be room to get through here, but I have a feeling they purposely spaced these trees in just such a way that you can't get a big truck through. Maybe a scout vehicle, but not a big. Sometimes I can drive halfway over the tree and still make it through when they don't expect me to. That is what the Mastodon brings you. And sometimes I get stuck with the tree in the middle of my truck. I try to do that. There we go, but I got it free. I have in the past got stuck with a tree in the middle of my truck and had to recover it or bring another vehicle or something. Rocks? What rocks? I drive over rocks unless they're icy and I'm trying to go uphill. Okay, now this is clearly not ice you want to drive over, right? Wrong. It's exactly the kind of ice you want to drive over. Because it's sheets of ice. Sheets of ice on this region you can drive over. I'm using that rock to be able to give myself a nice narrow turn radius. Now, where do I go next is the question. I'm saying I go over there, okay? This is probably crackly ice right in front of me here. I'm just going to power through it as I can. And now I'm back up on the sheets of ice. Now this is the question. Looks like I can get over the rocks, or I go around the rocks. I'm not straight enough to get on the rocks, am I? I am. Straight off of them? Alright. Boy, I picked the hardest one first, I think. I didn't look to see what order they were in on the task list. There was... You could do them in any order, but what order they were listed, I didn't look to see. I wouldn't be surprised if the one I did. I did the one I did because it was closest to the garage, but I have a feeling it was also the hardest one. Here I just say, you're on your own, buddy. Maybe there. Maybe. And then there, maybe. All right. Oh, this is what I call the game easy mode. That one I know I can drive over. Not that one, the one next to you. Blammo, and get ready to collect my monies. Yay! Forecast for tomorrow. Well, we've got all the data, Iceman, and now the weather forecast for the coming days will be all right. Wait a minute. The forecast was not going to be all right if you didn't have the data? I mean, before you would have not known what the forecast was going to be. But, okay, we got the data, and it turns out that the weather forecast for the coming days will be all right. I mean, the forecast will be all right. Does that mean it's going to be a blizzard and a hurricane combined with sharks in it? I don't know. Anyway, I got my 11,000 buckaroonies, which was quite a bit. So I'm glad. Stop the engine. Jeez, that only took me 15 minutes. What I want to do next? I could try to do that, get to that contest and do it. Where do I get? Where can I get metal? Can I get metal here? The metal beams appear there. Okay. Apparently the metal beams appear there because it's showing I get them right there. Alright. Now, can I load them? I wish I had a truck there now. Do I load? Yeah, it looks like there's a farm there. They must have the metal beams, right? Why they would have metal beams, I don't know. I have a job for you. If you're game, there's a pile of metal scrap not far from here. Right, not far from here, like right there. I wish I could take it all the way to the recycle station, but I don't have a vehicle for that. We could split the profit with you. You in? Well, he doesn't say you in, but that's what he means. Okay. There's the easy way, and there's the way I'm going, which is the easy way. Because I don't care what kind of... I got to get the vehicle up there first. Let me just recover it to the garage. I may not be able to do this in the next 40 minutes because it's a ways to get there, but now I have to get there. Then I have to get there. And the easiest way to... Well, That's not a contest. I need to get here. Pick up the metal beams. Alright. And then I have to come down here to deliver the metal beams. So that's my destination point. My final destination point. That's my intermediate destination point. Alright, so first of all, how to get to the trailer. No, I did those in the wrong order. This is my initial destination point. And this is my final destination. Okay. Alright, now, how do I get to each of these places? I can go out that way, can't I? I don't always go this way. Okay, and I'm going to go right by the trailer on the way there, I'm pretty sure. I'm not coming this way. I'm going to actually, I'm not going this way. That's crazy talk. So to get to this intermediate point, I'm actually going to go in the same way that I'm going to the final destination. I've done it before. Not just in the last episode I did this. Earlier in this stream. If you're watching this on Twitch, YouTube episodes are on youtube.com/@RollCageTV. And if you go to my homepage there is a featured games section that has all of my SnowRunner episodes, but they're in order from most recent to earliest, from latest to earliest. And so that's good. That's not good for binging. That is good for catching up. If you want to watch the last few on my featured channels list. If you want to watch an entire season, then farther down on my homepage, and you're going to have to open up all of these because the way the homepage works, half of it's closed. If you want to binge an entire season, if you scroll down on my homepage, there's a section just for SnowRunner, and it says something like Season 1 in chronological order. The name of the section is something like Regions in chronological order or something like that. So, again, look in that section and you'll see all the bingeable ones. And I do have some people that were very excited because they wanted to binge the entire series, and they found episode 1 something, but then they were confused and what the episode count was like, and etc., etc. So I directed them to that playlist, and they were like, oh cool, I will definitely check this out. Of course, people say they're going to definitely check things out and not necessarily definitely check things out, or not necessarily check them out at all. But hopefully the person will check them out, because I think they're quite entertaining. I get into a lot of trouble. I get a lot of frustration. Some things I learn along the way, and lessons that might be helpful to other people. Those are pretty rare. Mostly it's just me marking waypoints on the map. If you want to be quite honest, mostly the episodes are just me sitting here doing what I'm doing now, gabbing on while I'm marking waypoints on the map. This is how you can actually learn something if you want to know which way to go to do a particular task. A lot of people that do so-called playthroughs that will teach you how to do something, they don't teach you very well because they don't mark the map and how they're going. Now, true, if you're going to follow me and do this, I don't have any cuts in the Twitch episodes, so you are stuck, you know, watching agonizingly me place the markers on the map. It would be nice if more people actually did put markers on the map and show you. So, pointed north. There's the markers for how I'm going to get there, and then I'll change the path when it's time to come back. But so take your screenshots now, as I like to say. And now let's go. No beacons. No need. Maybe when I pick up the metal beams. I'm gonna see if I can get the metal beams. I'll try to pick them up in advance. If I can't, I mean, they might disappear if I pick them up in advance, but I think if I pick them up and pack them, they'll leave them on the trailer or on the bed, and then I'll be able to just keep going. But it is a contest. It'd be nice to do it in the fastest time possible. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm very glad that you don't have mandatory time limits. If you accomplish it in a certain amount of time, you get gold. If you accomplish it in a second amount of deadline, you get silver. But then to get gold, you just have to not quit the game, basically. You can take as much time as you want. Which is nice, because I'm slow in a lot of ways. I'm an overtired guy. And I want to relax and just get through the maps and have fun. And it's very difficult for me to meet time limits. When I have time limits to meet, it just gets me more anxious. So, as I've said many times, I'm an old retired guy. I've dealt with deadlines over many decades of my career. Don't want to ever do that again. Except for, you know, I mean, I'll still have deadlines like, I need to get the license. I need to get my driver's license renewed this year. Or I need to get my car license renewed, or plates or tags on it. Or I need to get my prescriptions refilled, my prescriptions refilled, or whatever. So I do have deadlines, and they do give me, you know, more stress than I would like. But there's no reason to add to the stress of deadlines than by playing a game that, you know, that gives me some challenge that I have to get anxious over. All right. I am on my way right past where I need to go, and yes, I did turn it to daylight, and yes, it is still dark. I apologize if it's dark for you. I have the brightness turned up as much as I can. It's not all the way up, but if I turn it up any higher, then any time it's foggy, everything just gets washed out and you can't see anything. So it's a compromise of brightness, so that bright enough that that the dark areas are reasonable at 6 a.m. and that the dark enough that even when it's foggy at 6 a.m. you can still see. No, you don't. You can still see what's going on. Is that on the other way of where I have to drop the trailer off? It is. So I'm going to have to deal with that thing. I don't think I can break it. I think I've tried to break it before, by winching over it. If I break it now, it will stay broken until I reload the map, which maybe I'll be reloading the map before I... why didn't I hit my brakes? Maybe I will be reloading the map before I actually do the contest. See, it's that point. Sometimes if you drive over them while winching, they break. And sometimes they don't. This is going to be one that doesn't. It's actually easier to drive over this thing from this direction. So. Nope. Not going to happen. Alright. I have found that it's easier coming the other direction, like I said. It won't affect my time. And I just said I don't care about time. Now here I am, worried about time. I did get all gold. Well, it's also nice. I did get all gold in Michigan. I was very proud of myself. A couple of them I had to do a couple times to get all gold in Michigan. But I wasn't going to redo it unless I was close, and I was tantalizingly close, so I tried it again. But Alaska, forget it. There were some that I was very lucky to get because you have to drive on the ridges of the mountain. Very, very difficult to do. So I'm readjusting my water bottle here easily. So yeah, I didn't. I at that point I said I'm just gonna do them. I'm gonna take bronze and everything and fine with it. But I do hope now I can get up there and back. It's 30 minutes. If I can get up there in 15 minutes and then back in 15 minutes, I will get in an hour. So I gotta beat the 15 minutes to get up there. But I'm taking the exact same way back that I'm taking up there now. And well, I'm going a little bit farther back. The trailer store is actually a little bit farther back. I didn't look at how long it took me to get from the trailer store. We'll see. I will try to get this in. If I don't think I can get it in, then I will probably end the episode maybe a little early rather than running late. Running late is never good. People don't watch it, it's over an hour. And also, Twitch demands more manual ads. If you're watching on Twitch, or if you want to watch on Twitch, you'll never see an ad in the middle of the action. I run my own ads during my breaks. My breaks come between YouTube episode recordings. And I have to do that to keep Twitch from running longer ads when people join the streams. But I have Twitch's automatic interrupted ads turned off. But if I do that and don't run my own ads, then when somebody first loads into my stream, they have to sit through like a 3-minute ad. As Twitch demands their ads. Probably faster to just go up the snow. It is a Peninsula. But on Twitch, you will never see an ad during the action, or even during a conversation, because I'll be gone when the ads are in. I'm taking a break, filling my water and whatever. I am monetized on Twitch, but that was not because I wanted to make money. I do have a little expenses. And so, you know, I do appreciate subs and bits and stuff like that to help meet those expenses. But they're not a lot of expenses. And believe me, the money I get from ads is next to nothing. Whether I run them or not, I will get the same low rate of money, whether I run the ads myself or let Twitch run massive ads when people join the stream. In fact, I probably get more people joining the stream than I get watching the stream during the breaks, that I'm going to make less money by running the ads during my breaks. But the reason I monetize is because that's the only way to stream on Twitch in multiple resolutions. Now I could still export it to YouTube, and then YouTube will compress in multiple resolutions. And that's also a reason why it might be darker or lighter than ideal, because you've got Twitch. Twitch will do their compression, and then they export it to YouTube, and then YouTube does their compressions. Doubly compressed. And I'm streaming at the highest bitrate I can on Twitch. But if I was not monetized, you could only watch the stream in 1080p, which is the highest resolution on the stream. Which means if you're on a phone and it's the end of the month, you would never be able to watch it in 1080p, because by the end of the month on a phone, your unlimited data people are saying, yeah, it's unlimited data, but it's not unlimited speed. Yeah, enjoy our 5K up to 1 gazillion byte of download. If it's the first day of the month and you haven't used up your quota. Once you've used up your quota, that's it. 360 resolution from now to the next of the month. Have fun with that. Anyway, so when I first started streaming, I couldn't do that, and there were people, friends of mine, that didn't have strong enough internet or were on phones or something. They could not watch the stream. They were racing streams, and they just couldn't watch it. So I got monetized as soon as I could, so that I could, once I found out the only way to get what's called a transcoder that will allow streaming and storing highlights and storing VODs in multiple resolutions is to monetize. That's why I monetize. I'm not intending to make any money. I'm not monetized on YouTube. I have no plans on being monetized on YouTube. I get everything I want out of YouTube without being monetized. So that's my story. Just an old retired guy doing this as a retirement project. Because I like playing games and I like talking. And I like talking to people. And occasionally all three come together. Usually it's just talking. Ask my roommates about that. They'll tell you that. Usually, yes. Okay, well, I got up here in, said it was 30 minutes, it's 38 minutes. If it takes me another 10 minutes to get back, I'll be in good shape. So I will get myself turned around, and I can load the iron first. It's metal beams, right? I will mark the map, which will just be right back the way I came. I can also use that fuel. And yes, I'm abusing the fact that you get no damage in the game by just using that thing behind me as a pivot to turn around. So, let's see. I can show contest and I can load. So before I do either of those, I am going to stop the engine. Fuel. And I will, or actually let's show the contest first, because I want to make sure that it is metal beams that I need. Show contest. That's not how I see what it is. That's not how either. Yes, metal beams times 1. Oh, and I need to mark the map. I may not have time to do this after all. Let me see. I might have to do this. That's how back down the hill, just the way I came. How much time do I have? 4 minutes for gold. 5 minutes. I think I can do this in 5 minutes. So obviously the way they would go is to jump off a cliff somewhere. I am not going to do that, but I should be able to do it in 10 minutes, since it took me only 8 minutes to get here from a little ways past the trailer store. So I do have a deadline. I do have pressure. I mean, if I run over an hour for an episode, it's not that big of a deal. But also, I got another incentive. Twitch only lets you store so much. Now they used to be unlimited storage, but now they only let you store so much, which means so many hours of highlights. And so what I do is I make highlights, and I want to keep 6 weeks of highlights. That gets me about 90% of my storage. If I go over 90%, they start to complain that I can go a little bit farther. And those highlights I export to YouTube. So if you're playing on an Xbox like me, that's the way to do it. Stream on Twitch, and then you can export, make highlights out of the Twitch editor. It's okay. And then export to YouTube. Also, if you're playing on Xbox, one trick, start a party chat, because there's a bug that was recently introduced that, oh, I have to go to the recycling center, which is not, if you start a party chat, you will, fine. No, come on, don't do this to me now. Delete, delete, delete. Delete, delete. You know what? I can just do it this way. It's fine. Alright. The path is marked. I've got the fuel. Let's load the cargo. Metal beams. Let's start the contest. Let's take out the parking brake. Start the engine. Now, that's up. Now let's see if I can do this in 10 minutes. I got up here fine. I should be able to get down here fine, right? Downhill's even easier. And I have to do it without tipping over. And I can unpack the load if I need to, but I don't think there's going to be any need to, because this truck is a beast, and I'm going downhill besides. And wow, within an hour, I might actually finish 2 tasks. A task and a contest. Well, a task that I started earlier in the stream. No. There we go. There we go. That's how you do it. The ruts are killers. Fortunately, the road is narrow enough that you can kind of lean against trees and rocks and stuff, keep from going completely over. Now, if I end up flipping this truck now, I will be very angry. Catch that rock, spin me around. Catch the rock, spin me around. There you go. That's how you do it. I do have a lot of experience with this Zix Mastodon by now. I've been, let's see, about 300 episodes for the first region, which isn't quite 300 hours, but let's say 300 hours plus 70-some episodes in, so, you know, at least 350 hours, let's say, driving this truck around. Well, I've driven other trucks around. Let's say 300 hours of driving this truck around. 250 hours. A lot of hours of just driving this truck around. Figuring out what rocks I can drive over, like that. How I can get through narrow spaces by driving over rocks, not squeezing through them. Things like that. Oh, I gotta make sure that I actually got the contest started. So afraid for a second. Am I stuck on one of those bush things? I think I am. No way, bush thing. Getting the view just right. The pressure's on. Not to get there in 5 minutes, but to get there before I want to end the stream, which is in 15. It's in 10 minutes from here. Lean up against the rock if I need to. Lean up against a tree if I need to. Okay, I think I'm through the worst of it. Kick the clutch. Keep in optimal gears, but I don't really care because this thing can drive through the ruts of its own making. Well, I might still have some obstacles going around this way, but not as bad as if I went around the other way. I am going back uphill now. If I need to unpack, I can. I resent unpacking cargo, making the cargo lighter, in case you don't know. Certain cargo and metal beams are the most egregious, are significantly lighter if you unpack them, as if the wooden braces and bungee cords they use to pack the thing weighs half the amount of the metal beams. But it's a hack. Turning here, turning left here. I seem to be getting farther and farther and farther away from that diamond, but that is, that's because I'm taking the easy way, not the fast way. Stay to the left back. Those bushes grab you and never want to let go. I think I'm almost there. I'm into bronze already, of course. I'm not almost there. I still gotta go through this water mess. Icy water mess. I tried to go on a place that wasn't all mudded out, and that was probably a worse idea than just going in a mudded area. Yeah, I could winch, but I want to do that when I don't have to. I can also put in low gear. Why don't I do that when I don't have to? Because of the time, I beat my 1 hour limit, but you know what? I'm going to do that anyway. Out right to here. Sorry about the sign, buddy. I didn't take it out. Sorry about the fence, buddy. Oh, I did take that out. All right. And here we go. What's my time going to be? Is it going to be under 2 minutes or 3 minutes or whatever? And the answer is no. Wait, what? Wait, what? Oh yeah, that's right. I have to unload the cargo. I forgot. I thought it was like delivering a trailer where you don't have to do anything. Yay, I got bronze. 6:46. I have no idea what the gold and the silver time was, but whatever. Okay. All right, that is the last contest to do in this region. Let's stop my engine and get a nice dramatic look that's not looking right into the sun. That is going to do it for me today, folks. If you're watching on Twitch, stick around. I am going to do a raid. I usually have someone to raid on a, usually I have someone to raid on a Sunday evening. If you're watching on YouTube, that is going to be it for this YouTube episode. The next YouTube episode will be the next weekday at noon U.S. Central Time, which is 6 p.m. or 1800 hours in the UK, and 0600 hours the next day in New Zealand. And I won't give you UTC because we do daylight savings time in all three of those regions. So using those as an anchor is really the best way of doing it. All right, folks. Twitch, again, stick around. YouTube, I hope you have a great afternoon, great evening, great morning, great whenever it is until I see you again. And wherever you end up going, on the road or in life, be sure to enjoy the drive. Twitch, once again, stick around for a raid. YouTube, I'm out of here for you. Bye-bye.